Now from age 3 to 5, there's going to be a little bit more conversation you're going to want to have with your child. And from 3 to 5, some of the things that you're going to see or experience is your child will get a sense of their gender. They're going to realize, oh, hey, I'm a girl, or hey, I'm a boy. And what that means to be a girl or boy, they might start playing with certain toys that might define a gender. For example, girls may play with dolls or boys might play with trucks. But what could happen is your girls might want to play with trucks or your boys might want to play with dolls. And I think it's important that we don't say, oh, those toys are for girls or those toys are just for boys. If your children want to play with toys, don't be overly concerned about that at this age, okay? Let them play with what they want to play with. Be careful with your language as well in what you say about how girls or boys are supposed to behave. Do your best to just not label it as a girl or boy behavior, but just how you want your child to behave. I hope that makes sense. Another thing that is going to be happening is you're going to want to make sure you're starting to talk to your child about good touch and bad touch, and also to ask permission to touch, and that it's okay to say no to touch themselves. And some of the things that you can think about doing to make this possible are little things. For example, maybe when family's over, instead of saying, go give grandpa a hug, instead of saying that, you could say, would you like to give grandpa a hug now? Grandpa would like a hug. Would you like to give grandpa a hug? That is giving your child permission to say no. Now, some of the adults in your lives might not like this, and they might feel hurt when a child doesn't want to give them a hug or hold their hand or whatever it is. But you can explain to the adults that what you're trying to teach your child and that this is an important thing for you to make sure that they can make that decision themselves. And also, if you're asking for a kiss as a parent, say, may I have a kiss, please? Something like that, instead of saying just going in for a kiss, and making sure that you also teach your child how to ask permission as well. So if they want to give someone a hug or touch someone, that they should ask permission. And you're also going to be teaching them about how not to hit, right? And to not hurt people and to be gentle and don't hit back just because someone hit you. And there's all these other lessons you're going to be teaching, but one you want to layer on top is their right to their own body, and that they can make the choice of who they allow to touch their body. And this is going to lay the foundation again to prevent sexual abuse as they get older. It can be a prevention strategy, okay? The other thing that you want to be prepared for is a simple explanation of where babies come from. I was about 5 years old when I asked this question. I asked my oldest sister, Susie, where do babies come from? And she wasn't prepared for my question, and she didn't want to answer it. She said, maybe that's something we'll talk about when you're a little bit older. And I didn't like her answer. I was really upset with her answer, and I explained the story in another video of what I did and said later. But I was ready for this information. I thought I was a big girl, and I was 5, and I wanted to know where babies came from, and she wasn't prepared with an answer, okay? Make sure you have an idea of what you might want to say. You don't want to lie to your children, but you want to have a simple answer. So you can say, when a man and a woman love each other very much, they may, this might start with touching and kissing, and along the way, the penis may go into a woman's vagina, and a special seed comes out that gets together with the woman's seed, and that makes a baby. And they're going to look at you like, what? How does that happen? Or, ew, gross. And that's okay. Just have a simple answer. If it wasn't enough information, your child will ask for more. And you say, this is something that adults do. This isn't something for kids. And it's a big responsibility for a baby. And you can layer on a couple of values if you like, but again, you want to keep it very simple so your child can understand. You want to also make sure you let your child know they can talk to you and other trusted adults about anything. And you want to name those trusted adults. You want to say people that you can tell anything to is your mommy, your daddy, your auntie, your grandpa, your grandma, or whoever those people are in your life that you consider family and trusted adults in your child's life, your teacher, your doctor. You want to name those people. Sometimes when there's an abuser, they may tell a child to keep a secret, say like we're playing a little game, or this is something that's just between you and me, don't tell anybody. And you want to let your child know those aren't secrets that you keep. So have them start to hone in on their intuition. If you feel funny about a secret, you can tell me, and if I won't tell anybody. So if it's from a friend or something, but if something ever makes you feel funny or uncomfortable, I want you to let me know, right? Something along those lines. So those are some of the conversations from 3 to 5 that you're going to be having to make sure you're raising a sexually healthy child.